It's time for a deep dive into the Grilla Grills Silverbac pellet grill to see if this is the wood-fired pellet grill for you and how you can win one coming up. A few weeks ago, we published a video on the best pellet grills under $1,199, and the Silverbac was one of our top picks at this price point. There's a lot of information that we couldn't cover in the roundup, and in this video, we're going to do the complete deep dive on this unit. Now, we're giving away a Silverbac all-terrain in the month of December, so stick with us to the end of this video to learn how you can enter to win. Now we'll start with the delivery and assembly. The Silverbac comes on a pallet, and if you get the all-terrain cart, it comes in a separate box. The assembly was pretty easy for the grill itself since it's mostly assembled. Now the cart, on the other hand, took about an hour to assemble, but could be accomplished by one person. The Silverbac weighs 195 pounds and measures in at 53 inches high, 47 inches wide, and 30 inches deep. There's 507 square inches of cooking area on the main cooking grate, and the upper rack adds another 185 square inches for a total of 692 square inches. There's 9 inches of height in the cooking chamber, so that's the vertical limit when you take out the upper rack. Now the grates are 1/4 inch stainless steel rod, and the entire grate is a single unit rather than multiple panels. That makes it heavier to pick up and move around, but the trade-off is greater stability when you're cooking and cleaning on the grate. Now, out of all the grates in our recent roundup, these were the grates that impressed me the most. They're just solid and they give a great sear. Now, the minimum temperature range on the Silverbac is 180 degrees Fahrenheit, while the maximum is 500 degrees Fahrenheit. The quality of the build is really worth noting. The seams on this unit are welded, powder coated, and caulked, which is a rarity in most pellet grills today. Now, as far as susceptibility to weather, this grill fights off the wind and rain as well as any other in this price range. The frame and the body are made from 14 gauge steel, and the lid is made from 12 gauge stainless steel. And while we're on build quality, let's take a closer look at this all-terrain cart. The defining characteristic of the cart for me are the large, oversized solid rubber wheels. These aren't inflatable tires, they're solid rubber, so they're heavy, but move around really well on all kinds of terrain. It's worth noting that when you choose the all-terrain version of this grill, you lose the cabinet that the standard model comes with under the cooking chamber, but for me, the trade-off is well worth it. Now, since we have the outdoor kitchen and patio, I like cooking out there, but getting grills from the garage to the patio is usually a pain in the butt. I like to keep my grills in good shape, so I keep them in the garage whenever I can, and this cart makes getting in and out incredibly easy. Now, the pellet hopper is found on the left side of the grill, and it will hold an entire 20-pound bag of wood pellets. Of the grills we've tested, this is one of the few hoppers where we haven't had problems getting the best use of the pellets we've loaded into the grill. With some models, you're left with 3 pounds of pellets or more left when the grill runs out of fuel, but this unit utilizes the fuel well, and that speaks to the calculation someone did to the proper slope of the hopper sides. Now, there's a pellet dump feature on this unit, and it allows you to take out all of the pellets from the grill to change flavors or simply store the grill without fuel. Now, the pellet door in the back of the grill works well, but there's 2 things about it that I'd love to see addressed in the next version. First, I wish the door were magnetic so it would stay up while the pellets were emptying instead of me needing to hold it. Now, secondly, if you leave the safety grate in that protects fingers from getting caught in the auger while it's running, and you should, it's for safety after all. You'll have to use a tool to get the last few pounds of pellets out the door since the pellet door is on the side instead of the absolute bottom of the hopper. Now, there's a single probe port on the controller, and it comes with 1 probe in the box to monitor your internal meat temperatures. The controller is a Wi-Fi board on this model, and it will connect to your local Wi-Fi so you can control the grill with an app on your mobile device. The controls use a button system instead of a spinning dial like is found on so many other grills out there, so it's not as fast as a dial to get this grill set to the highest temperature. Now you're talking about a difference of maybe 15 seconds, so you have to decide if that's an important factor to you. Now the controller also has my favorite new feature that I didn't know that I needed on a pellet grill, and that's a pause feature. Simply hold down the pause button for a couple of seconds and you'll see a 5-minute countdown timer come on the screen where the auger won't feed any more pellets while you're working inside the grill. Now this is incredibly helpful when you're turning a load of chicken wings and need to have their door open for 3 to 4 minutes. Now if the grill isn't paused, the controller doesn't know when the door is open on a pellet grill, so the controller thinks that there's a temperature problem and feeds way more pellets into the burn cup than you need, which causes a temperature spike. Now, pause just means the controller will resume and just feed what it needs to get back to the temperature instead of all of the excess. Now you can just press the button again once you're done and you'll cancel the pause, or it will time out at the 5-minute mark. The Grilla Grills app is first and foremost amazing looking. Compared to the other apps out there for pellet grills, this one is better put together than 90% of them, so I'm really impressed. The 4 main things that you want on an app are in there, and that's the ability to change temperature, checking the meat thermometer temperature, working with timers, and the ability to power the grill off. Now you can also turn on your grill remotely with the app, and that's the first time that I've seen this. You've got to be very careful with that since you're starting a fire without necessarily being there to monitor it, so use that one before you crack open a few beers. There's also the Pro mode and the PID mode on the controller, and the PID mode is telling the controller to be super tight in holding temperature. There will be very few degrees variation from set temp in this mode, but also less smoke and smoke flavor. I'd use this setting with more delicate things I'm baking and want less smoke taste. The Pro mode, on the other hand, tells the controller to make more smoke and vary the temperature more in order to do it. This is the mode that I use most of the time. I want more smoke in my smoker, so Pro is the way that I go almost every single time I light it up. Now to test this grill as a smoker, we picked up a half pork butt to see if we could get some pink smoke ring on a longer cook. We cooked the butt for about 8 hours total at 250 degrees in 30-degree weather here in the Midwest, and we got some lovely pink smoke-infused meat for dinner that evening. Now we also ran a couple of racks of ribs on the grill, and they had a nice bark from the rub that we put on them. Here's a cross-section of the rib once we cut it for dinner, and these beauties were delicious. Now for hot and fast tests, we ran some chicken party wings one evening with the grill set to 350 degrees. We rubbed them down with a rub that we're working on developing here at the lab, and that rub set and created a great bark. The whole family devoured those wings and want to know when the next football game is on, so I can make more. Now we also cooked a half chicken with some Smoked Bros Cloak and Dagger rub with the grill set to 400 degrees, and the chicken was very juicy. Now, if you'd like to get Smoked Bros rubs, I've got a discount code for you, so go ahead and use this code here on the screen to save some money. Now, I like also how this grill does with chicken, and hot and fast cooking is something that I would say that this grill excels in. Now for the nemesis of the pellet grill, seeing if it will actually grill instead of just smoke and cook indirectly. We fired the Silverbac up to 500 degrees and ran some burgers both on the factory grate and on a set of grill grate raised rail panels. At the 3-minute mark, when the burgers were flipped, you can see that there were some nice grill marks on both the factory grates and on the grill grate panel. Next, we tried some chicken breasts that we marinated for about 4 hours. I like to pound out chicken breasts before putting them on the grill so they cook evenly, but I forgot to spray the grill grate before putting the chicken on, so there was a little bit of sticking when it came time to turn. Now, like the burgers, there were lovely grill marks on the chicken, and they had a smoky grilled flavor that you wouldn't get if you did this on a gas grill. Now, the ability to grill like this isn't the case for most pellet grills, and in my opinion, it makes this grill stand out in the space. Most pellet grills don't grill well, and they should be more aptly be called pellet smokers. The Silverbac is a true grill as well as a smoker, and these 1/4-inch stainless steel rod grates are no joke. Now, cleaning the grill comes in 2 types of cleaning. The standard cleaning that we do every time we use it, and the deep clean we do every 3 to 4 cooks. The every time cleaning is simple. Clean the grates off, and we like to use the grill rescue brush when the grill is hot and let the steam do the heavy lifting. The other thing to check is the grease can, just to make sure that there's room for however much grease we might get from the next cook. The Silverbac uses regular metal cans left over from veggies or soup, so we just tear the label off and replace the can as needed. The deeper clean helps to make sure that the burn cup is clean of pellet remnants that didn't burn, and to make sure that the bottom of the grill isn't overwhelmed with pellet dust. A shop vac is what we use for the job, and a quick run through the burn cup and around the bottom of the grill takes about 20 seconds, and you're good to go for the next 3 to 4 cooks. So that's a lot of specs and testing of the Grilla Grills Silverbac, but what do we think about the grill overall? Well, when I first saw the Silverbac, I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I do. I was kind of expecting it to act like most pellet grills that were okay at smoking and struggled at grilling, but I was surprised with this grill. And yes, I called it a grill because this is one. Now, burgers and chicken were no problem to grill. Nice pink smoke rings on pulled pork and chicken wings that I'm excited to make again. I'm truly impressed with the Silverbac. Now, if you'd like to make a purchase, we put a link in the description below that will take you to the lowest price we're aware of on this grill. And if you're watching this in the month of December, we're giving away a Silverbac all-terrain on New Year's Day, so you can still sign up to win. Just go to thebarbecuelab.com/giveaway and register. You get extra entries for sharing the contest on social media, following us on your favorite social media channels, and more. So head over to this website that's right here on the screen and get registered to win. Because someone's got to win, and it might as well be you. Thanks so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time.